So this past week was rough. I came in last Monday sharing with you guys my son had been in a severe car accident. He's fine. So I saw some of your faces. He's okay. But unfortunately, the woman who hit my son and his friend, unfortunately, died in the hospital. We were on the scene till 2:30 in the morning, Saturday night. It was pretty horrific. And all week I've been obsessing about this poor woman who perished. And I've been wondering who she was and what she was about and where she was from and what happened to make her hit them, you know? And I really think she would have gotten along with my son and his friends because she was a songwriter and a guitar player. And she worked security at Cheekwood Botanical Gardens, before that at Frick Center. Her family was originally from out west, mixed between Oklahoma and Colorado. And anyway, I came in to tell you guys, you know, I was a little flustered last Monday when I came in and felt a little ill-prepared because my headspace wasn't clear. And this past week was really busy, but there was a lot of really serendipitous and spiritual moments that occurred. And I thought I would share a little bit of that with you. Mary Ann is a woman who comes here as a student, but she's also a yoga teacher. And she was here in the gentle class. And on Tuesday morning, I woke up and I had this lovely message from her inviting me to an online ritual. And she said it was through Kriya Yoga. And immediately with Kriya Yoga and just the invitation, I thought, yes, I'm going to try to join this if I can. Because the whole intention of this online ritual was to help people transition. Anybody that had lost a pet or a loved one or knew of a death could join this ritual. And it was about sending them well wishes and giving them peace and trying to help them, you know, with their crossing over. And so I decided I wanted to join. And so we included her in that. And I was online with like 25 strangers that I didn't know. Mary Ann was the only one that I knew. And it was such a beautiful ceremony. It was really beautiful and it was really powerful. And there was mantra and there was candles and an altar with the Bodhisattva Tara, who's the goddess of compassion. And there were several people speaking. There was a woman playing a harp. And the whole ceremony really resonated with me to the point where when it was done, I sent Marianne a text and I'm like, hey, can you tell me who was this facilitating it? Where in the country was this stemming from? And she said it was out of Chicago. And then it hit me. Kriya Yoga in Chicago. That is the place I almost went for my initial teacher training. Back when I got into teacher training, there wasn't any in Nashville other than Iyengar. That was the only teacher training you could get at that time. And so you really had to research and figure out where you wanted to go. And I had discovered this ashram in California, the one I ended up going to, and there was one in Chicago, Kriya Yoga, that I almost went to. I had it narrowed down between those two. Come to find out, that was the same Kriya Yoga in Chicago. And I didn't know this until I spoke with her. It's linked to my lineage. It's linked even to the place that I went to in California, because they were both under the lineage of Paramahansa Yogananda. And so I felt like that was kind of a spiritual serendipitous thing that came to me. And then that evening, it was 12/12, that's Tuesday, and that evening I had a planned meetup with a few Reiki masters. We do this like once every one or 2 months. And I went to meet them. Well, first of all, I didn't want to go because my headspace wasn't there. And my best friend was like, you have to come. This will be good for you. You need to be around some like-minded people right now, and you need to celebrate Christmas with us. This is like our little Christmas gathering. So I showed up. I literally only told two women, the lady's name that died in the car crash. And the next morning I wake up and a woman had been one of the ladies that I told the name to was taking her son to school, was stopped at a red light, happened to be next to a funeral home, and guess whose name was on the sign? And anyway, little things like this were occurring through the week, and there's a mantra that they did twice in the ritual. And it's actually the mantra that I had chosen to use for last night's event. It was already predetermined because I had also used it in India with Diwali. And I was going to pass it out, but we're not going to be able to listen to the song, so I'm not going to bother passing it out. But the pieces of paper are up here. If you resonate with it, if you want to take it home with you, you can. You can look up just the first few words of this, and you'll be able to find any art, like lots of artists that do this particular mantra. It's written in Sanskrit, so I may butcher it, but I'm going to try my best. Om Masato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotor Gamaya, Matyor Matam Raktam Gamaya. And I know that may mean nothing to you, but it's the Pavamana mantra. And it was written in the Upanishads thousands of years ago, 700 years before the birth of Jesus. And it means, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from the darkness into the light. Lead us from death to immortality. Shanti, shanti. Shanti, of course, means peace. So I'll be bringing up that mantra in English as we explore our practice today, because this particular time of the year, as we're leading up to the winter solstice, is a time of year that we call the season of lights. If you look at Diwali, that's celebrated in India in November, it's kind of like their New Year celebration, but they light candles in the home. They have lights strung outside the homes and businesses. And then they do sand art, and there's flowers, and it's all about good overcoming evil. It's all about remembering light can rule over dark. And that's a piece that I brought in last night, because as we go towards Christmas and our New Year's, this is also a time where we string lights, whether it's on the Christmas tree or outside. Even these trees here next to the business are lit up around Christmas time. If you haven't been here in the evening, it's beautiful. And then, of course, we have the fireworks through New Year's. And then even, I don't know much about Hanukkah, but even they have the menorah candle where they light a candle every day, which is very significant, meaningful, and serves a purpose. So as we move into the darkest days of the year, it's really important to remember our inner light. Even at times where it feels dim or dull, we have these tools and this practice available to brighten ourselves up. And if we can remember to be a beacon of light for others, if we can be an instrument of peace for each other in the world, it really falls upon the responsibility of each individual person. It's the yogic way. The last thing I'll mention, since I brought up India and serendipitous events, and I know, David, you know Valerie, these bracelets are given as a prayer and as a blessing. And you can receive them at different events or through different temples that you go to at priests. And we had gone to India, and Valerie, I had never met her. She's another yoga teacher in and around Nashville. And she had been in touch with the travel agent that I was using. And the travel agent had come back to me and said, hey, there's a lady in your group that had a dream that the Dalai Lama was calling her to India. Really, who is that? And she mentioned her name. I'm like, oh, I haven't met her yet. And that entire week that we were together in India, I did not think to ask her about this dream. But when we were flying into Rishikesh and when we were flying out of Rishikesh, there was another group of Westerners, that looked like us that was on the plane, and they were with a Lama. And they were obviously there for a Buddhist event. And when we met back up with them in Rishikesh, Valerie started talking to one of the gentlemen. And he said they had spent time with the Dalai Lama. And Valerie is like a little firework herself. And she's very energetic. And she was just joyfully laughing and dancing and just, what? You were with the Dalai Lama? And then they figured out they knew someone in particular. And before he left, he was like, let me give you something. And he gave her one of these bracelets. And he was like, this is from me. So it's really important that we all pay attention to signs, synchronicities, and serendipitous events, because Spirit is always talking to us. God is always trying to communicate with us. We just have to pay attention and notice when that occurs and be able to receive with an open heart. So this mantra, hopefully you can use it for yourself. If anything's making you feel heavy, if anything's been an obstacle or a challenge, or if this is a depressing time of the year for you, please take this strip of paper with you and feel free to utilize it for your own personal benefit. We're going to start in child's pose. So if you could get into the extended style where your arms are out in front of you. Separate the hands shoulder width or wider so that your shoulders can collapse and relax. Let your elbows drape down to the floor. And see if your head can take rest on the earth. You've probably heard of the term acupressure points. In yoga, we call these marma points. And there's one at the center of your brow. And when it's activated, it can help to induce and promote some inner peace. But I also want you to feel the posture that you're in. This one that we can enter when we're feeling humbled. Feel the humility and reverence in this position. And feel as though you're bowing down before the higher power. And offering up this suggestion. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness into the light. Lead us from death to immortality. Shanti, shanti. And then open up your breathing. And try to create a nice rhythmic breath. Breathing in, breathing out, slowly and deeply. We're going to continue with a different pranayama technique, but adding in some physical motion. So on your next inhale, extend your arms more ahead of you, so the elbows fly up, and you feel this stretch even into the pits of the arms. Rock up at this point to hands and knees, separating your big toes if they were touching. Line up your knees underneath your hips. Continue to slide your hands a little bit more forward and bow your head in between the upper arm bones so that you're holding puppy pose, a great modification for downward facing dog. In puppy pose, we're not sagging down through the shoulders. We're actually hugging in through the belly, cinching in through the low ribs, and the armpits are lifted. We're looking down towards the floor, but as we exhale, now we're going to pour down into the chest, down towards the chin, saturating the shoulder joints. And we're going to start to do this with cleansing breaths. So on your inhale, suction up through your midriff, come back to puppy. And as you exhale, express it out to the mouth with that long audible sigh, melting heart. Continue this with repetition. Inhale, drawing up to puppy. And then exhale, letting it all go. Do a couple more at your own pace. On this last one, go ahead and sink down into Anahatasana. Now, if it's too much to rest on your chin, rest on your brow. And remember, you're gaining access into that Marma point. Now try to activate the Ujjayi Pranayama, where you're constricting the back of the throat, allowing the breath to come audible to here. On your next in-breath, slide your hands back to tabletop position and walk your hands over to the right, onto the wood floor. Now, with your hands shoulder distance apart, you're going to keep your right hand as is, but you're going to extend your left arm out in front of you, and you're going to draw halfway down and hover above the ground. Adding and incorporating in this deep side stretch. Now, see if you can create a tiger grip with your hands, pressing into the finger pads so that you're pushing forward with your right hand and drawing back with your left hand, even though they're suction cupped and not actually sliding. Notice how that accelerates the stretch. If it's too much, you don't have to do it. Leave the breath flowing, and then inhale, slide your left hand back, build your head and heart up, track the hands across the sticky mat over to the left, and then take the right arm more ahead, gently bow down. This might be enough, and if it is, remain here. Otherwise, create that tiger grip with your fingertips, pushing forward with your left hand, drawing back with your right, if you want to amp it up. But it is early, it is Monday, and know that you have a choice in the matter. Listen to the breath come and go. And even add in the mantra in English. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness into the light. Lead us from death to immortality. Shanti, shanti. Inhale, slide the right hand back. Walk it over to a nice tabletop position. But remember, in tabletop position, we're not just on the hands and knees. There's action involved. So make sure your toes are pointed to the back of the mat and really plug the feet down into the floor. In fact, push down through the top of the ankles, even if they don't touch down. At the same time, push the ground away from you with your hands, with your fingers nice and broad, so that you feel like you're about to go into a cat stretch. However, you're not rounding the spine. Feel the activated core work. We need it for the next pose. Keep the belly hugging in and extend your right leg back behind you, no higher than your hip. Casually glance down, but then send your left arm forward and out to spinal balance or seabird pose. Now feel as though you're putting your footprint on the back wall. So you're really powering through the back leg. Keep pushing the ground away from you with your right hand. You have the choice to stay here or add in the core work by creating a fist with your left hand and drawing the nose towards the knee. Inhale, extend through the limbs. And then exhale, crunch in. Inhale, extend and lengthen out. Exhale, round it out. One more. Extend and hold. And now release. Now notice once you release those limbs how the belly may want to flop. But we need that core work. So go ahead, activate the pose by anchoring down through your shins, ankles, feet. Once you feel the core engaged, extend your left leg back behind you. Push energetically through that heel. Drop a little stronger through the left hand, soar the right arm forward and out. Alternate limbs are extended. And then exhale. Belly draws in, head towards knee. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, scrunch in. Use that Ujjayi pranayama if you're familiar with it. Last one. Once you extend, briefly hold. Exhale, release. Good. Now walk your hands another step beyond where they were. Curl the toes under. Pick the knees off the floor. Sail the hips up in the air. And take Adho Mukha Konasana. Slightly dial the hands away from one another. Let your head bow between the arms. Gaze in the direction of the feet or the space in between. Feel the angle here from your wrist all the way up to your sacrum. And the sacrum all the way down to the head. So even though we're pushing our energy up towards the sits bones, we're actually allowing the manipulation of energy to pour down with gravity towards the mind's eye. Beautiful breath, beautiful you. Walk the feet forward towards the top of the mat, lifting the wrist along the way, taking the weight off your hands, lining your feet up side by side, pouring over and down. Make sure that you're hinging from your hips and not your waist. Tip your weight slightly forward towards your toes. Uplift through your knees. Engage your quads. Let the heaviness of the head go. Affirming here, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. I'm willing to reach for my highest potential. Now on your next in breath, root the feet, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. When your arms come up, you're going to bring the hands together and lower them down to prayer position at your heart. You're going to lace the fingers and tuck the knuckles right up underneath your chin. When we're breathing in and out, try to breathe into 4 to 6 counts if possible. As you inhale, you're tilting the head back, opening the palms, splaying the arms. And then as you exhale, glue the palms together, forearms close back in, and your chin drops. Good, continue. So remember the importance of the Vishuddha center, which is the throat center. A place where we acknowledge align with, speak, and express our truth. One more. Inhale, let your arms circle wide and overhead. Create this mudra above where the index fingers are still pointed, other fingers interlaced. Let your shoulders come up towards your ears. Let your arms hug your head. Exhale, move to Chandrasana as you lean to the right. Inhale back up to the top and exhale, curve to your left. We're going to flow with the breath. Inhale back through the middle. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. One more. Inhale to the top. Exhale to the right, and maybe lean the hips over this time. Inhale and exhale, maybe include the hips. Inhale back up and relace the index fingers, separate your thumbs, cup up underneath the base of your skull, puff up through your chest, and lean your head back, providing a safety net for your neck. Now, try not to tuck the tailbone or rock your hips forward. This is just going to target the dorsal region of the back, the thoracic area of the spine. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness into the light. Lead us from death to immortality. Shanti, shanti. All right, exhale, bend your knees, let your arms go, and roll down over your thighs and lower through your neck. Inhale, straighten out your leg bones, slide your hands up your shins, reach out through the vertebrae, look out with your eyes, and then exhale, plow back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, step back to plank, lining up your joints, your arm bones. And instead of rocking forward with the feet today, I want you to try to isolate quads and core. So try to use your quads and core to send your shoulders past your wrist in order to drop low to Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale, lift to up dog. Exhale, roll it back to downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, look at the separation between the big toes and make sure it's no wider than 4 to 6 inches. And then inhale, lift your right leg skyward. Exhale, cheetah pose, shoulders over wrist, nose towards knee, rounding the back. Inhale, soar the right leg back to Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana, and exhale, cheetah. Again, inhale, extend out. Exhale, contract and curl in. Inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale, swing that foot through in between the hands. Offset and ground your left foot. Bring your hands up alongside your hips as you keep the front knee lunging and stacking head, shoulders, hips. All right, when you're ready, inhale, the arms are gonna float up and you're gonna straighten the front leg. As you exhale, you bend the front knee and bring the arms down. This is a little Vinaya yoga. Inhaling up. Good, exhale, an aspect of warrior one. Continue. You guys are doing great about not crossing the knee past the ankle. One more. Keep the knee bent. Inhale, take the arms up the same way. Palms facing the front side of the room today. Exhale, ground your hands. Spin off the back heel, step to plank. Be here first. Now try your best to leave the feet out of the equation. But if you need to use the feet, that's okay. Try to draw your quads in towards your pubic bone, your navel in towards your heart to bring yourself forward and down to chaturanga. Inhale, lift to up dog. Exhale, rock and roll back to down dog. And find your alignment, especially with your feet. And then lift the left leg up. Exhale, contract and curl in, cheetah. Keep this going. This time, once you extend the leg, you're going to swing that foot through and up between the hands. Offset and ground your right foot. Float your hands up. Keep the front knee bent. Stack your spine. Feel that work in your back half muscles. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. Arms float up. Find a drishti point with your eyes for mental focus. And then exhale, lower the arms, lunge the knee. Let it become a moving, breathing meditation. Beautiful. Pause. And then inhale to lift the arms, keeping the front knee bent. Version of Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands down. All right, let's go ahead and step the back foot forward today. Lift the hands up to the shins, lengthen out to the spine unless you want your fingertips to touch the floor. Exhale, lower down and in. Inhale all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Lace your fingers up, tuck them under your chin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms circle wide and overhead. Create the mudra above. Exhale, lean right. Inhale to the top. Exhale to the left, Chandrasana. Inhale back to center. Exhale, link the index fingers. Cup the backside of your skull. Open up your heart and breathe. So I did take Gabriel to a gentle restorative class last Wednesday. And just doing a little simple cat-cow, he couldn't do it. Because the impact of the air pad to his breastbone. So just be grateful that we have this freedom to be able to blossom open in this area of the body right now. Think about how life also hits us hard and affirm, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness into the light, from death to immortality. Shanti, shanti. Exhale, bend the knees, lower your arms, bow over your legs. Let go. Inhale, straighten out your leg bones, slide your hands up your shins, Ardha Uttanasana, and then exhale, pour over and down. Inhale, step back, plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise to up dog. Exhale, roll back, using your navel center to down dog. Appreciate the breath, what sustains our life, the greatest gift from the divine. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through, but we're not offsetting the back foot. We're staying on the ball of the back foot, and we're coming up crescent lunge. So find your stability here first. And then exhale, bring your hands to prayer and slightly bend the back knee. And as you're bending that back knee, you're probably going to feel that stretch in that iliopsoas muscle. It wraps around the inside of the hip. It attaches to the low back. This is a muscle that science says is embedded with emotion. And it gives us that trauma response of fight, flight, freeze. So we're working some things out as we're here. Inhale, straighten out the back leg. Lift the arms back up. Exhale, spin and twist to the right. Right hand behind you, left arm in front of you. Good. Inhale, bring the arms back up, face the front. Exhale, spin and twist to the right. Separate your arms. Good. Inhale, line the arms alongside your ears, look straight ahead. Exhale, one more, twist off to the right. Good. Inhale, bring the arms up to frame the face. Exhale, bring the hands down to the ground. Right foot steps back, plank. Exhale, low push up, chaturanga. Inhale, lift up dog, elongate your neck. Exhale, downward facing dog. The down dog is the perfect place to always reset and to reclaim the breath. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bring that foot through between the hands. When you're ready, lift to crescents. So in crescent, you're trying to avoid leaning forward. Get the spine more erect. Bring the hands down to prayer position at the heart. Bend the back knee. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And just check out the difference between the right and the left side. So I think I've told you guys earlier this year, I've been reframing the iliopsoas muscle to be the mama muscle. I keep holding all of Gabriel's stuff in my left hip. Inhale, lift through the back thigh. Lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, spin and twist to the left. Inhale, turn and face the front. Let your arms float up. Exhale again, twist to the left. Power of 3. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, one more, twist to the left. Inhale, arms back up. Good. Exhale, the hands are going to come down and we're just going to step the back foot forward and then flow down so that the crown is facing the floor. Bringing it to that place of utmost wisdom, oneness. Inhale, root the feet. Circle the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring hands together down to the heart. Lace the fingers. Tuck it up underneath the chin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms circle up. Release the hands. Exhale, sway to the right. Inhale through the center and exhale off to the left. Inhale, coming back to the top. Exhale, hands laced behind the base of the skull. Open the elbows. Open your heart center. And free up your heart space. Free up your breath. The whole goal of yoga is not to stand on the head, it's not to touch the toes, it's liberating ourselves from fear, from expectations, from outcomes, even from our body and minds. Exhale, bend the knees, take your arms to reach down towards the floor as your belly descends over your legs. Your head drops. And now inhale, plug the feet down, straighten your legs, come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release. Inhale, step back to plank. See if you can use your quads and core today to rock forward. Takes a little bit more mindfulness. Taking it through the vinyasa when you're ready. As you're ready. Good. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, extend. Exhale, cheetah. Again. This one, once we extend the leg, we're going to step that foot all the way up between the hands. We're going to turn the back foot down, the right toes to the corner of the mat. We're going to turn to that dark painted wall, and the hands are going to come to the heart, a version of Skandasana. So the right foot facing the corner of the mat or corner of the room. Left leg straight. You got it. All right, inhale, come up. Now turn your left toes towards the back corner of the mat and lunge to that side. Good, now coast back and forth. And the next time you come over to the right, let your hands go and swivel the feet to face the front of your mat. Right foot plank. Once you step to plank, exhale, go through the vinyasa. Once you take pause, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg. Exhale, cheetah. Continue. This is part of our flow today. Core work's going to bring us back into our own power. Now take that foot to the front. Walk the hands off to the right. Spin your left toes to the corner of the mat. Hands to prayer position up. What's called Raso in Japanese. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, turn your right foot to the corner. Come to Skandasana here. Good. And we're just flowing back and forth. Next time you come over to the left knee, release your hands. Spin to face the front. Back foot is going to step to join the left, lifting halfway up or looking out with the eyes. And then exhale, let it all go. Inhale all the way up. We're doing one more flow. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlace the hands, tuck under the chin. Inhale, open your throat nice and wide. Exhale, bring it back to where you started. You got it. Inhale, arms sweep up. Relax at the top. Exhale, Chandrasana to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, Chandrasana to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, cup the back side of your head. Puff up through your chest. Lean your head back into your hands. Most importantly, breathe. And bring an attitude of gratitude in your heart. Think about brightening up your inner light. Good. Exhale, release your hands. You can softly bend the knees. You can come down over the lower body. Inhale, create some structure in that lower half as you lengthen out through the vertebrae. You got it. Exhale, tumble back over and down. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down, and hover if you can. Inhale, rise to up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. There you go. Right leg lifts. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, contracted, curl it in. Little repetition. Now this time, after you swing that right leg up and back, you're bringing it through between the hands. You're offsetting the back foot to the floor. You're keeping the front knee bent. We're revisiting that first flow. Hands beside the hips. We're going to piece this together. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Float the arms overhead. Good. Exhale, lunge the knee. Inhale, turn off the back heel to the ball of the back foot. Lift the arms up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to heart, bend the back knee. You got it. Inhale, lift the back leg, the arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the right. Good. Inhale, face the front. Exhale, bring the hands down. Turn the right foot. Turn your left foot and come to this variation of Malasana, or do Skandasana if you need it. But if you lift the right heel and sit towards it, you can probably flex the left foot and lift the toes skyward. And you can use your hands to balance or hands to prayer. Fixate your eyes at one special spot. All right, bring the hands around, spin your feet to face the front, right foot plank. Move through that vinyasa. Unless you need a break, child's pose is always available. You don't even need my permission. Once you arrive to downward facing dog, we're going to do that same sequence to the left. So the left leg lifts, exhale, cheetah. Inhale, extend it out. Exhale, cheetah. Next time you extend the leg, step that foot through, offset your right foot to the floor, keep the front knee bent, arms hanging down initially, and then inhale, straighten the front leg, arms float overhead, exhale, lunge the knee. Good. Inhale, spin off the back heel, fly the arms up, crescent. Exhale, hands to prayer, bend the back knee. Good. Inhale, straighten the back leg, arms fly up. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Good. Now turn both feet down, right foot to the floor, left toes to the corner, then elevate your left heel, sit in its direction, pick up your right toes at that point, find this half malasana, and if it's crazy too much for your body, remember you can do Skandasana the regular way. Hands to help balance, or you can give yourself that healthy challenge. Bring the hands to the floor, spin the feet, face the front. All right, we're gonna step back, downward facing dog. I know that's usually where we close out the sun sal, but we're gonna move into something different now. All right, when you're ready, inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, cheetah one time. Inhale, extend that leg, up and down. Exhale, bring that knee and shin behind your hands for pigeon. Now, extend your left leg or slide it back. Look to where your right knee is facing. If it's facing the front, it's going to be more likely that you flop onto that right hip. So, see if your right knee can dial towards the long side of your mat. Walk your hands a little bit in front and stack to your fingertips. We're going to be waving up and down today with the breath. So this is going to be the inhale. And as we exhale, we lower belly, chest, face. Pull the navel in and roll it up one vertebra at a time. Exhale, wave it down. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, cascade forward and down. Keep this rolling. So I grew up a PK in the Church of Christ, and I never fully resonated with the dogma, even though I loved the teachings of the Bible and Jesus and all of that. So when I left home at 18, I started a spiritual quest. And I was asking the question, what happens when we die? And so I started researching and reading about near-death experiences. And the thing that hit me the most that each and every person experienced was a life review. And that life review wasn't just what you thought, said, or did. It revealed the ripple effect of everything you thought, said, or did. Come back up. Flatten your hands, curl the back toes. We're going to go ahead and do this now. I was going to save it, but let's go ahead and do it. Shift your right knee to face the center of the room, or the center of your mat, rather. And then, yes, thank you. Flop onto that right hip. Pick up the back leg. Bring that left foot around and around and around and around till it's to the outside of your right knee, which is why we needed to shift the knee. Okay, now, the foot doesn't want to go there. Don't stress about it. The foot can hang out on the inside of that right knee, so it's no problem. But if you're able to locate it there, make sure that the foot's not peeling away from the floor. So lift the left knee, flatten the foot down, wherever that foot is, okay? Notice if your left sit bone is rising, and if it is, plug it down. So think about when you're vacuuming in your home and you get to the edge of the line and all of a sudden you're trying to see if you can keep going, and then the vacuum just stops because it comes unplugged, right? So we want that electric line. Get both sits bones down. Now inhale, lift through the shaft of the spine. Circle that left hand behind your back and start to rotate around to your left. Close your eyes. So something I'm trying to get the boys to get out of their mindset is they keep saying, we shouldn't have gone out, we shouldn't have gone out, we should have just stayed home. And I'm like, you got to let go of the would have, should have, could have. You went out, you had a good time, it wasn't your fault. But think about how often we look back into our past and we have our own would have, should have, could have. Let go of any shame, blame, and affirm mentally. I irradiate my love, goodwill, compassion to soul friends everywhere. All right, as you unwind from that twist, lean your hands back behind you so that you can lean your torso back. Slide your right foot over in front, and you're going to try to keep that left ankle as is. All right, now step to the fingertips so that you can lengthen your spine. So you're coming into this hip stretch. Now, if you're already pretty open in the hips, and you want to feel more, you can do more by scooting closer towards the right foot and then bringing your hands a little closer to the body and re-extending the spine. And just see if that gives you a little extra if you needed it. Now, if you were closed in, you want to back up just a wee little bit here, because we're going to take the left arm and we're going to see. Now, if this feels impossible, if it strains or hurts, don't do it. Just stay here in the hip stretch. You don't even have to do the twists. You already did one. But if that elbow comes to the arch of the foot, then you can twist around to face the light coming through the windows. And from here, if you're like, oh, I just want to go up into an arm balance, go ahead and sink the hands to the floor. Keep the foot attached to the left arm. Get your hips off the floor. Bring the elbows and cinch them in. Look out with your eyes and pick up your right foot and extend that right leg and go into that hummingbird or grasshopper pose, which is hard to talk in. The main thing is trying to get the booty off the floor and to get that lift. And sometimes you have to slide your right foot back in order to push into that foot to lift the hips off the floor. All right, turn back around. You need to see it because you were in a twist. You saw it? Yeah. Did you guys see it? Yeah. Okay, cool. Good job. Yeah, all right. Let's slide the right leg out. Swing the knees. But we got two sides. So you got another chance to try. All right, tabletop to downward facing dog. Now the left leg flies up. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale, bring that leg around in front, forward pigeon. And I know we're so used to just, but if we're always going in that direction, we're not getting this portion of the hip, which we get from the upward pigeon. And this goes kind of with our theme today anyway. So we're going to wave up and down. So when you're ready, exhale, slow down. And come over that. Last one. Inhale, once you come up, use your hands and use your root lock because you may feel really sunken down through your pelvis. So if you use that root lock to lift, it'll make it easier to slide your left knee to face the middle of your mat. And then you can flop onto that outer right thigh, pick up the right foot, swing that foot around. Again, it can be on the inside. Don't worry. That's where it needs to stay, or cross it over. But if that right sit bone lifts up, think about you've lost that electric line and you want to ground down. Okay, Ardha Matsyendrasana. When you're ready, lift up. The right hand circles behind your back. Rotate into your twist. Eyes can be open or shut. Exhale, unwind. Face the front, lean into your hands. Shift the left foot in front of you. Keep your right ankle crossed. I like to turn the fingers to face the back of the room for this, but just do what feels appropriate, intuitive for you. And then again, if you're not quite receiving what you want, you can scoot forward. But if you do that, bring your hands forward as you close in. If you close in, it's going to be too much for you to go into the twist. So you need to scoot it back. Then we'll lift the right arm. And if all you can do is the twist, you're just allowing the elbow to come into the arch of the foot as best you can. And just stay in the twist, no problem. But if that foot is above the elbow, somewhere on the upper arm, place your hands down, shoulder distance apart, where it's facing this dark painted wall. Slide your left foot back a little bit. Push into that foot and your hands to swivel the hips in the air. Look out with your eyes. Shift forward to find the fulcrum of balance. And lift and extend your left leg. And you just bend that left knee to bring the foot back. You sit back down. Rotate out the twist, straighten out the legs. Okay. We're ending with an so that we can restore in Shavasana. So I'm going to give you a choice. You can do the Stonehenge. Lift your legs up, which is awesome. It's hard for me to get up and restore it. It's a bit different one, but you could also do the slide. One block on its tall form, middle form. Once you have the slide, the legs lift. You can lower like this. So, if you're at a wall, you can also do legs at the wall. If you want to scoot forward here, you can also do that. But we're ending with the legs elevated because it's good for circulation. And it's also calming and cooling the mind and nervous system. And settle. Giving your body permission to rest. Giving your brain permission to rest. Giving your lungs permission to rest. The breath flows effortless, natural, quiet. Om Masato Ma Sagama. Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya. Mityor Ma Amratam Gamaya. Lead us from the unreal to the real. From darkness into the light. From death to immortality. Shanti, shanti. back to your breath. Control it again. Maybe start to open up a little movement in your hands and feet, or even turning your head from shoulder to shoulder. Once the head is back to center, inhale, stretch your arms to the back wall. And as you exhale, cup a hold of your knees and gently hug them. Turn over to one side, build yourself up for a seat. Sitting attentively, any way you wish. As long as your spine is upright. Just quickly assess how you feel from the inside out. Let's join the palms together again. And then up to the heart. And we all be able to release any of our blocks so that we can be liberated, so that we can move from the unreal to the real, from darkness into light. And we recognize the spirit within is infinite. May we remain to be an instrument of peace. May we be way showers and pillar of light to others. May we look for signs and synchronicities and serendipitous events to show us the way. May we take time to be quiet and still, to hear that soft inner whisper. May we receive the messages from the Great Spirit, from the angels, or even the earth angels around us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for joining today. Hope you have a beautiful holiday if I don't see you. Think someone's doing, is Jen doing a Christmas Eve flow? I think there is a Christmas flow. And then on New Year's Day, which will be Monday, obviously not Christmas Monday, but it's following, I'm gonna do my 2 annual events. First one's forecast and flow. It starts at 9 instead of 9:30. It'll be astrology, numerology report for 2024. We'll express that energy as we move. And then 11 to 12:30 is ring in the new year. So gentle, restorative, no information regarding the forecast, but ending with a sound bath.